Namaste students, welcome all of you. I am Dr. Leela Jadhav from KTHM College Nasik. Today I am going to discuss with you about the second chapter, that is accounting of overhead in TY BCom level. Therefore, today I am going to discuss in my lecture allocation of overheads, its need for departmentalization and apportionment of overheads, its meaning and principles of apportionment, difference between allocation of overheads and apportionment of overheads, basis of allocation and apportionment, its methods, and lastly, we will learn a statement about basis of apportionment which are useful for you for solving problems. Let us start the third step, allocation of overheads. First, we see what is allocation of overheads. Allocation is the allotment of whole items of cost to cost units or cost centers, whether they may be production cost center or service cost centers. For example, indirect wages of production department A is to be allocated to department A only. Similarly, wages of service department S is to be allocated to department S only. Thus, the allocation may be defined as the allotment of all items of cost to cost centers or cost units. The overheads should be allocated as far as practice. Following two conditions must be complied with in order to allocate overheads. The cost center must have caused the overheads. The exact amount must be known. So, we understand the meaning of allocation. Let us see the need for departmentalization of overheads. We say why departmentalization is necessary. Departmentalization of overheads is necessary for the following reasons. First one, control of overhead cost. Effective control of overhead cost is possible because departmentalization makes the incurrence of cost in a department or cost center the responsibility of someone who heads the department or the cost center. Thus, with the help of departmentalization, responsibility accounting can be effectively introduced for control purpose. And the second reason is forecasting and estimating. Because of greater accuracy in cost ascertainment and cost control, departmentalization ensures more accurate forecasting and estimating and decision making. The third reason is ensure greater accuracy in cost ascertainment. By proper allocation and apportionment of overheads, for accurate costing of each function or operation, overhead absorption rates should be determined separately for each cost center. This is possible only with the help of departmentalization. And the fourth reason is use of different methods of absorption. Basis of absorption of overhead may be different for different cost centers. For example, machine hour rate may be suitable for one cost center, whereas direct labor hour rate may be more appropriate for another cost center. Different bases may be used for different cost centers only when overheads are departmentalized. Next reason is valuation of work in progress. Correct cost of work in progress cannot be ascertained unless overheads are departmentalized. And the next reason is cost of service department. Departmentalization helps in ascertaining the cost of various service departments, which is useful for making estimates and submitting quotations for those items which may make use of the service of various cost centers. We are understood allocation of overheads. This is also known as departmentalization of overheads or primary distribution of overheads. Let us see the next important step, apportionment of overheads. It is also known as secondary distribution of overhead costs. There are mainly two types of cost centers, that is service cost center and production cost center. We have to apportion the service cost center cost to the production cost center. Cost apportionment is the process of charging expenses in an equitable proportion to the various cost centers or cost units. The apportionment may be defined as the allotment of proportions of items of cost to cost center or cost unit. Then we will see principles of apportionment. Apportionment of overheads to various production and service departments is based on the following principles. First one, service or use. This is the most common basis of apportionment of overhead cost. It is based on the theory that greater the amount of service or benefits received by a department, the larger should be the share of the cost to be borne by that department. For example, rent is apportioned to various departments according to the floor space occupied. Telephone charges according to the number of extensions, telephone each department, and so on. The guiding principles of apportionment of common overheads on the basis of service or use are as follows. First one, actual benefits. According to this principle, common overheads are apportioned on the basis of actual benefits received. This method is adopted where measurement of actual benefit is possible. For example, rent can be apportioned on the basis of area occupied by each department. And next is potential benefits. According to this principle, common overheads are apportioned on the basis of potential benefits. This method is adopted whether measurement of actual benefits is not possible at all, or if possible, is uneconomical, that is, cost of transport for workers can be apportioned on the basis of the number of employees in each department. And the second method is survey method. This method is used for those overhead costs that are not closely related to departments and whose remoteness necessitates an arbitrary distribution. For example, salary of general manager of a company may be apportioned on the basis of the results of a survey, which may be revealed that 30% of his salary should be apportioned to sales and 10% to administration and 60% to various producing departments. Similarly, lighting expenses may be apportioned on the basis of survey of the number of lights, size, estimated hours of use, etc. Then next principle is ability to pay method. This is based on the theory of taxation, which holds that those who have the largest income should bear the highest proportion of the tax burden. In overhead distribution, those departments which have the largest income may be charged the largest amount of overhead. This method is generally considered inequitable because it penalizes the efficient and the profitable units of the business to the advantages of inefficient ones. So, we see the principles of apportionment. After learning allocation of overheads and absorption of overheads, we also learn its difference. Allocation of overhead and apportionment of overheads are those steps in accounting of overheads. First, we see allocation of overheads. Allocation deals with all items. Costs are directly allocated. And third, allocation is a direct process. Overheads cannot be allocated directly to products since they are not identifiable easily, and it is known as departmentalization of overheads or primary distribution of overheads. And next is apportionment of overhead is deals only a proportion of items of cost. It requires suitable basis for apportionment. It is an indirect process. To charge the expenses indirectly through apportionment and absorb the cost in the final product. This is also a part of primary distribution of overhead cost. So, this is the difference between allocation and apportionment of overheads. Types of overhead apportionment means methods of overhead apportionment. The following is the two types of overhead apportionment. First one, primary distribution. Primary distribution refers to the apportionment of expenses over the departments on the most equitable basis. And second, secondary distribution. Secondary distribution refers to the apportionment of service department expenses amongst the production departments. Secondary distribution is two types. First one, non-reciprocal method. Second, reciprocal method. And reciprocal method has three types. First one, simultaneous equation method, repeated distribution method, and third, trial and error method. This is the types of overhead apportionment. Next, we see basis of apportionment. Suitable bases have to be determined by apportioning the expenses within the production department and the service department. The bases selected should have a proper relationship between the expenses and the basis, but there are some common bases for apportionment of overhead on some equitable basis, which is known as the primary distribution method. The apportionment is made on the following basis. First one, floor area occupied, labor hours, machine hours, kilowatt hours, capital value or value of assets, and technical estimates. This statement showing apportionment of overheads. We will learn one by one. First one, fixed power generation overhead cost is apportioned on the basis of normal capacity. Second, variable power overhead is apportioned on the basis of actual power. Third, generation cost is apportioned on the basis of consumption. Lighting expenses are apportioned on the basis of number of light points. Depreciation is apportioned on the basis of assets value. Insurance is also apportioned in the basis of assets value. Rent rates, taxes, and repair are apportioned on the basis of floor area. Stores overheads are apportioned on the basis of direct material. Employees insurance charges apportioned on the basis of direct wages. Staff welfare expenses, supervision expenses are apportioned on the basis of number of employees. Today's lecture, we understood allocation of overheads, its need, apportion of overheads, and principles of apportionment, types of apportionment, and basis of apportionment, and lastly we see statement showing apportionment of overheads. With this, I would like to say thank you very much. Next lecture, we will start absorption of overheads.